Hey, this is Blind Fox and welcome at my farm simulator playthrough. So what we are going to do is we're going to build the grain elevator, or try to build the Graneelevator Museum. We are playing on a normal difficulty. This one is geared to people with movement problems, so we are going to use as much automatization as we can, also with visual problems, so the same goes there. I'll comment here and there on stuff, but it's early in the morning. We don't have any interesting contracts, I think, yet. Not really, no. The wood transport is a bit difficult. Don't want to drive so far. Rock collection also, it's difficult to always see the red flags. And the deadwood, same problem with the marks on the trees. We do have our cement factory, which isn't working yet because we don't have a lot of stones yet, and the stone collection or the dredge doesn't really work on this view or this map. You will see there is nothing there. Don't have anything to harvest. All our fields are planted. We do have two fields that's got weed on them. Let's go see how weedy they are so that I can unweed them later. So I did run the one field is fine because we did run this one. Which one is that? Needs lime, needs rolling. Now this field we couldn't roll because we didn't have the roller, or we didn't get the roller then. This one, weed medium, good, we have the correct one. Needs lime. 6.6, bad. Yes, so let's just see lime. There we go. So for this, this is the lime. So I will run the lime over them later and see if it improve any. We are on 59, but I mean this is the first year we do this. I didn't use a crop sprayer, I used the normal nitrogen. The grass doesn't always take nitrogen well. I mean it doesn't need a lot of nitrogen, so if you have grass it does influence some of your stuff. I don't think they got the grass stuff totally correct. The tillage is not going to be high because we did cultivate it separately, but we do have a one that can direct seed drill. Our weeds is never going to be good because I'm not going to spray the weeds. As I say, pH we still need to do. Nitrogen, I'm still wondering if I should get myself a new one, or if I actually should. I really don't want to do the actual crop spraying bit. Use liquid fertilizer. I did use solid fertilizer here, but we're gonna take a knock anyway. I'm not gonna farm as specifically for precision farming. I'm going to try do it a bit more organically. Now that would actually mean to use slurry, but we don't have slurry yet. Now I could buy that slurry, and it's not really profitable, I think, to buy the slurry. I might, I don't know. I'll see. But we do need then a slurry tanker first and a lot of stuff. So this field will be weeded later. Park the tractor there. So we came a bit early so that we can check stuff out. I want to take you a tour through our barn. Let's see if I can put on the lights. Is the lights on? Come on. Lights, where are you, lights? I know there's lights in here. Ah. So there is some light. But we still have a better light in the flashlight. So this is our barn inside. But there is also an upstairs. Now if we just... it's a bit dark. The lighting in the barn isn't the best. This is a building that I'm going to tear down. Eventually. Simply because it takes up space and I can't really use the barn for parking. There's nothing to collect in the barn, it's just interesting. There's some brooms. Nothing here you can actually pick up or do anything with. But you do get saws, there's some wheels lying about. Oh! Oops. Very easy to fall out of this loft. There's still more places to go. There we go. Here we want to go. So you can play here inside the hay bales. Interesting. Let's see if we can get off here. Interesting. Now there we go. Here's the ball. And there is a ball in here as well. So let's pick it up. Ah, there we go. The right tool for the job. And then there's just more bales here you can run through. But that is what we want. So you can go and play ball outside. So there is a few balls in this game. What we want to do is we want to remove the barn, because frankly it's in the way, and eventually I will remove it, so I can just as well do it, and we can get more money if I remove it now than if I will remove it later. So now I could build my sawmill in the middle of this, but I still don't want to build my sawmill here in the middle, because I want to have a garage here. What I want to build in here is this. Won't build it today, but I will build it later if I can find it. I think it's this one I want. Yeah, this is actually what I want to build. I want to build this later. So this will come here where the barn was. But later. Okay. So we're still waiting for this, and I'll bring you back when the sun has actually risen. Okay, while you were gone, I did harrow this field. So you can see this field is now without any weeds. Now we will go to the other field that needs to be done. There we go. Well, after we remove this crop, next year I will make all of these fields one field, just because it's easier, and I'm gonna plant them all of them the same thing. So let's just let our worker again work here. We've got 3 contracts. Something else we will need is a pellet fork that we will get later on. again, we can afford to do stuff, but yeah. So we've got a plowing, we've got a stone picking contract again. So that we can get stone for our mixer or our cement factory. Using the small cement factory, I don't think we're going to be able to do all of the cement things we actually need for the mill, but we don't have enough stones to do it, and it's a bit expensive. We'll try for the larger cement mill, but large cement factory, but there isn't really. We can just as well buy some cement stuff, but we will really try to do as much as we can. Here's a new tractor, we haven't seen this one yet. It's a very large tractor. Also got that little GPS thing there. Same as some of the rest, but it's a very roomy tractor. This is just a normal smaller tractor. I think we just had this one before. You can see that one just got a weight on it. And it still sort of looks like it's having trouble. Even with the weight on. Much smaller cab than the other one. But it does have a nice display. If you do precision farming and you want to do stuff like cultivating, ploughing, that kind of jobs, you always have the contracts. Doesn't matter what the precision farming stuff does, the contracts is always normal contracts. Some of the contracts, however, doesn't finish properly. Don't know why, but it is as it is. Again, you can see our animation doesn't really keep up with our ploughing. We know this tractor, this is ours, it's just sort of doing its job. Nice knobs, not as big screens as the other. So normally with precision farming you use, as I said, the chemical fertilizer. Also you use the weed killer. whatever you call it, English. Sorry, my English just left me. Herbicide. If you use the herbicide, or the liquid herbicide, that gives you a better mark for your weed score. But I want to go organic. Doesn't matter if it counts for precision farming or not. I do like the bit more organic bit. And I think we are done. Let's see. Yes, we are done. You can see this field still needs rolling there, but we can't roll it. We do not have the it doesn't roll past the seed stage, or whatever you call it. If it's already in the first growth stage, it doesn't roll. Now we're gonna run the lime sprayer over the fields, which might or might not be a good idea. But hey, well. Now that is daylight, but because it's October, it never gets as light as other times of the year. You will see our stuff just standing around in the here. We haven't really gotten the funds to build our new building, and we decided to I've decided to remove the barn while I was at it. Let's do the lime anyway. At least for some of these fields. Oh, come on, you stupid thing. So we dump our fertilizer. Oh, it's empty already. What is it? There we go. We've dumped that. So we'll go and pick up some lime. Even if you do have crop destruction on, you can still strive over the first growth stage, which we will be doing. Almost done with our stones. Grass doesn't get destroyed, I think, if you drive on it anyway. There. Now, here we go. So this is a heap of stone, which you can do nothing about. Because you do not have, we don't have, there is a mod you can use to get the stone. You can see here you can only get lime and solid fertilizer, lime solid fertilizer. So you can fill up either at the store or you can fill up here, and you will pay for it anyway. Alrighty, that's done, and our first contract is also done. We're gonna drive to go and get our stone. Vicar, you are going to drive to a field. Here, and we'll pop you back later. Now this one we are going to drive home, so that we can take off its stones. But until we do have our sawmill, we're not going to do anything because we do need the chips. Not particularly we do need it, but the recipe uses less stone if you have the chips. So we'll wait until we get our sawmill, which I hope will be after we clear away all these trees and remove all these stumps. And I've tried to remove most of this debris. That's another problem you have with this game. You tend to crash into things and then it's difficult to get out of them again. For example, this little bit of fence. Oh, maybe they work. I don't know how. Oh, come on. There we go. Remove the bit. You can unput this beforehand. Let's see if we can get ourselves off this and this. Oh, making progress. Yes, we got off from the fence. I haven't discovered where I can remove the fence. I don't know if you have to remove the silos. And these trees also, it's gonna go, there's some of them that's gonna really go because they're also in the way. Quite in the way. There we go, complete the contract. So something you will need to learn is besides driving is getting stuck. If it's your own vehicle and you don't have anything on it, you can reset. Let's see if there's anything we need. So this is one of the sensors. This one you can add to any tractor. Here we have a slurry tank, but I think this slurry tank needs to be on a something, so how does this slurry tank work? I think this one is there we go. Let's see. Let's see, what does that, okay, that's just the, how does this one work? On what does this come? Because it doesn't, I know you need something to carry it, but it doesn't supposed to actually tell you. I'm not sure on what this thing, yeah, I've never used this specific one, but I know it you put it on something. Let's see. This tank needs additional So this thing does need something to, but for some reason some of this stuff doesn't. There is no way I can see what it needs to be with. So let's go to the slurry tankers. They are somewhere around. Where are they? They are here somewhere. So here we've got some of the sprayers. Here we've got the tankers. This is a complete drivable one. So you can see there is different tankers, but this one I'm not sure how to mount this one. But there is a lot of others as well. That's what YouTube is for. Go and hunt for stuff. So we'll find a new contract. Of course we did that one. There's a 4, 5, might do that one. Fertilizer, no. Don't do the fertilizer stuff because it's just not worth it always. Let's see, what did we get? Something else popped on. 444. Well, 5, let's see. It's cost the same. It is 51. So we'll just get the fertilizer contract here. This might not seem like it's worth a lot doing contracts, but as I say, every little bit helps. As I say, you either can play this actually riding around doing the contract. You can only have 3 contracts at a time, no matter who is doing the contract. And another reason why I don't use my own vehicles for contracts is simply afterwards you have to drive back. Which the workers can do for you, but sometimes you get lost. And that's another problem if you've got low vision. You tend to get lost in places. So what will we do today besides the contracts? We were going to remove some stumps and actually buy some fuel as well. But before we start removing stumps and all that, so this thing can eat up some of these little branches as well. The mulches also do it. We're first going to remove some of these foliage. For that you climb on a tree, then push this chainsaw button and run along the tree. And if you are lucky, it will remove the branches or the side branches. These side branches doesn't count for the overall wood of the tree, and a lot of people don't bother doing it if you just do wood chips from your wood, or if you've got a local sawmill close enough. The problem is they can still get stuck and they do obscure your view some. So I always try to remove some of it at least, so that the trees are a bit more visible. You can also jump to do this and try and cut down some of the branches you can't reach. There's another tree. Let's run around that one. This you can only, as far as I know, do in first person. That clears up the tree nicely. Here is also another tree that we can do. We'll jump on it now and run along the... So these trees, which is not the conifers, the other ones, doesn't have a lot, isn't really good to transport. But they are good for a lot of wood. So if you want to have a lot of liters of wood on your property, or if you have a sawmill, that's brilliant. Alright, there we go, we move out here out of the way. Now what we want to do is clear the stump. And it would be better if you know, and then you can get stuck again. And then you get stuck again. Here, these little trees, they stuck. Let's see if we actually turn on our... if we just turn him on, will we actually get loose? These trees really aren't worth the trouble. Here we go. Now we're over that, and now we're going to try to actually remove it. Lower it down, and it removes. Doesn't always remove the stumps for some reason. What is this? See, there's still trees sort of block up your view of anything around them. Definitely lift it up again. And if there's tree balls, tree stumps, you might not be able to actually plant any or put down any buildings. So I know more or less until where I need to trim this. Oh, come on. There we go. We get into our tractor again. Push control, push alt. And see if we can get our stumps to come closer. There we go. We'll let it loose. Now we'll hop into this one and see what we do. One tractor should have gotten to its field by now. Most likely it has been waiting for us a bit, but hey. You do tend to sometimes lose track of them. So let's see. So HP, let's see how we do. So you see, it doesn't, your solid fertilizer doesn't really play well with, and your lime as well, doesn't really play well with the precision farming. But I would have thought they could fix it so that it play better, but apparently not. The moment we're at 62, so we did increase our fertilizer, if we use liquid fertilizer it would increase better. So in other words, this field according to it is fully limed. We'll try this field. See what this does. There you can see it does do a bit of spraying. So it will drive around the field and see if there needs some small spraying, then it will spray. There we go, we are spraying again. But liming is really a very imprecise job. So you will get places where it says it's not doing well. The old system of liming was better when you limed after every third harvest. Especially if it's so imprecise, it's difficult to do in precision farming. Oh, there's another thing we can remove while we are here. Let's see what we can buy. Still nothing, still just a sensor. I don't really use the sensor. I rather put one on each tractor because oops, where are we? Where is this little building I want to remove? We can remove it now because we collected the thing from it. Sell, yes, we want to sell it. And it's just in the way. Something that we are going to add here is we're going to go to animals. And we're going to add a few beehives. There are larger and smaller beehives. I don't really know if the I know it's got fronts and backs. Let's see if I can actually see the fronts and backs. That's something that's difficult to do, and you can accidentally place the damn things. So I'm not gonna remove it because so you can accidentally place them. Now I need to see if I can. It's very difficult to actually see where these are. These are a bit more easy to see where their fronts and back are. You see there is this one's front. You want the front actually to face towards the field. So we'll pop him there. There we go. So let's see how this got done. Well, at least nitrogen is still bad. So really you need to actually have the sprayer as well. But yep. There we go. And we'll do some more spraying there. So the beehives, the reason we parked them there was, let's see this one there. Bring off this tracking. Where am I now? Oh, there we go. think this one might have both might be front, I'm not sure. So I still didn't do it correctly, but hey. If you put your the hives next to your granola fields and sunflower fields, you do get higher yield, but it's difficult to see, and people don't always know how much and where it is, if it's in the correct place. We're still bad at nitrogen, but, well, yep. There we've got some honey. Our hive is located over there, where the pickup point. I might move it. You can only have one pickup point. I'm really considering moving it to somewhere here. What I am going to do is fill up our tank. I need to buy some stuff. Right. Yes. Okay. Now I've wasted some more money again. But I will need to come and fill up some of my equipment. For example, this one. But we will just work with a few keys again. This sometimes is done a wee bit better if you are in third person view, but this game I think is in third person. This is what we're going to try now, doing it in third person. Let's see if we can get this. See, this is where it is difficult. You can do this, but not the actual clip on, because you can't see what it wants to do. Now this tree is too large, which I actually knew, but, well, sort of suspected, not new, let's just say I suspected it's too large because it has always been too large. I think it does have an 8 or 9 ton limit. Somewhere there must still be. There it is. You see how difficult it is to actually see the stumps? And these large trees really remove difficult. It's not easy to remove them. Oh, come on. The thing is not doing well. So this is another problem. Oh, this is difficult. Now there we know is the, where is this? There it is. Very difficult to see this. Trying to be as high as I can at the moment. so you can move it. Hope it's gone. So I'll leave you here. I'll just do this one more and then I'll continue clearing here. I can keep you on here, but then, I mean, it's gonna be a 2 or 3 hour video. And you might get bored. This is basically what you do here. You try and clear the stump. Now you do this, so you have to down, walk this, move just so that you can see green. If it's not green, it won't cut. There we go. When done, it's the last. This is basically what I'm going to do for the rest of the day. Cancel your tractor over and around and so I'll leave you here for a bit and then I might bring you back if we do something else. Okay, now we've cleaned a bit more of our trees. You can see it's night time now, so it's really difficult to actually see stuff. We do know there's a tree there we need to clean. Let's see if we can actually get over. It's really difficult to actually drive this, get this tractor to where we want it. Because we know where it is. There we go. So we switch it on. And we might even eat up some of these stupid little things that we can't really do anything with. There we go. Okay. That's done. We'll switch it up again. And here you can see is a piece of tree that has not properly been removed. Now some of these stumps just don't want to be removed properly. The problem with it is, if we want to build here, we sort of need to clean up. Sometimes it works, it actually removes it, other times it just does not. And here it is. The previous time we went over this, it did not remove it properly, but and here's the problem, you cannot see if it's going to remove it, you don't know. You literally have to look at your trees and see will it remove it or not. And these trees I still need to do. So we're going to remove all of these trees that's lying around so that we can get a nice clear place to put our sawmill. See that we remove all of those, and the rest I will do in daylight because it's really difficult to actually see this stuff at night. Now, as far as other stuff, I will be selling this because frankly the cows aren't doing anything for me at the moment. Let's run over there. What's the time now? I'm still waiting for my one contract to finish. And you can't really leave or go and sleep for the day if your contract hasn't finished yet. Now this is truly a bit confusing with all of the trees. So let's run over there. Really need to clean all of this stuff up. Hate the dirty farmyard. I can take equipment standing around, but other stuff not so much. Now I could just remove this to the yard, but it's not really gonna help me much. So I'm just selling them because it's not really worth my while having it. And something else that I'm going to do is, besides from saving, is I'm going to remove the this. We're going to sell it because I don't want this one. Eventually I do want a some animals here, but then I want milk stuff, and that's basically what we're doing. So that's basically the end. I'm going to try to from now on do a month episode, so I hope I don't go into too long episodes. Trying to keep them an hour, which is already long, but I'm trying to do this without using my editing software, or else my files will be too big. And I'm trying to keep this as live as possible to give the feeling of a stream, although I don't have people chatting with me. And you can see here, this is my CPU usage, 4%, so it's really not bad for that. So, thanks for watching. Please support the channel, please subscribe, please go and donate on patreon.com, and see you at my next playthrough.